And positive vibes, y'all. What's going on? Welcome to another episode of Monotfahme. We got a special guest in the house, EMillio EgBar.
Yo,
Tonight's
what's up?
show is presented by Survival Mode Music and Media. So I want to give a big shout out to Emilio. Man, thanks for coming through tonight. It's nice having you back again.
No doubt. Thank you for having me. I'm always up to do this whenever I have time and everything. So I definitely appreciate the invitation as always.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just switching my video over to public so you guys don't mind me if I'm like look, looking crazy over here like where is she looking at, what is going on? And I want to tag Emilio real quick too so he can be. What's going on? How are y'all doing tonight, man? Welcome to Monotfahme. It's great to have you guys back. We're doing another episode on healing
Yeah.
tonight. We're going to talk about that.
Definitely want to know how everybody is dealing with 2022 right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like for those of you out there who are watching right now, if you on Twitter, follow me at the EMillio EgBar. My Twitter handle is right there on the bottom of the screen by my picture. Let me know how you dealing with 2022. I'm interested.
Yeah, I guess it's just the beginning of the year.
And already, we only 2 weeks into this year, and already a lot of stuff is going on.
Yeah, hasn't this 2 weeks already just like whipped by? I'm like, wait, it's the 10th already? What
Honestly,
happened?
it doesn't really feel like it's gone by too fast yet, but it just
Jeez.
feels like a whole lot of shit has happened. Like yesterday, we had a situation in the Bronx where over 60 people were injured in a residential building fire, killing 19 people.
Jeez.
A week before that in Philly, 13 people died in a house fire. It's like it's a lot of stuff that has just been going on within this last 2 weeks. And it doesn't feel like the year is moving by fast. It just feels like a lot is just happening right now.
Mm, I feel it.
Yeah.
A lot is happening right now. There's a lot going on in the world. People are dealing with a lot of different things personally. And then on top of it, if you turn on your TV, it's like a bombardment of just propaganda and shit.
And see, and this is why platforms like this, my platform and other platforms out there that, give people a space to come and vent out their frustrations, to heal themselves of everything that they're going through.
Mm-hmm.
That's why platforms like this is important because, like I said, there's so much going on right now that everybody out there is dealing with something to some degree that they need
Yeah.
healing from. Like I asked it a couple of weeks ago. I said, with everything that's happened the last 2 years, how do we start to heal from our situation that we have dealt with over the last 2 years? How do we start to heal from that?
Yeah.
And here we are now in 2022. It's like it just feels like we just can't catch a break right now.
Man. People can't catch up from just a couple of years ago to try
Yeah.
to even the healing process on that. I can't even begin to comprehend. I feel like it's like you have to be doing it as you're going. You have to be constantly every day um, speaking to yourself
Yeah.
and dealing with it in that manner, which is really what I wanted to talk a lot today about too, is self-talk and
Hmm.
how do we manage life? How do we manage depression? How do we manage anxiety attacks? Things like mental health things that, oh, thanks, Zach. Appreciate you. Things that are going on in our lives. How do we manage that? And a lot of how we can manage our lives and choose to be happy or choose to have a positive perspective on things is by how we talk to ourselves.
Hmm.
And that is going to determine how we deal with that situation. Like, I know, for example, with myself, I can get frustrated very easily. I'm
Hmm.
known to have a pretty quick temper, and I just like, yeah, that's something that I've dealt with my entire life. And so a lot of what ways that I can deal with that and help combat that with myself and not get to the point of boiling over is by how I self talk. I can calm myself down. Like, hold on now, chill. Fuck all that shit. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
but if I'm inside my head amping myself up,
Yeah.
now what? Now I'm gonna get amped. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that goes with anything.
That's a dangerous space to be in
It
sometimes,
is.
because you can create your own problems that aren't even existent
Facts.
by, getting into your own head and allowing the situation, or allowing your own emotion to create thoughts that you wouldn't think of otherwise if you wasn't so emotionally charged at the moment.
Exactly.
And that's the big problem when you say, about self-talk. A lot of people don't have that, where they can actually, talk themselves down. They need other people or other influences to help. But sometimes, it is best to learn how to, talk yourself down from a situation, because you're not gonna always have somebody there
Exactly.
to be able to talk you down. So that's
Exactly.
another thing when it comes to healing. We gotta learn how to start listening to ourselves, and
Mm.
not just the negative things that we hear. Listen to some of the positive things. Listen to the voice of reason that we have within our own heads.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, it's super important that how we talk to ourselves, because if we allow ourselves to continue a negative talk, we will stay in whatever situation we're in. And that goes for anything. Like, say you're somebody who deals with depression. I think every single person in the world has dealt with what we would consider to be depression, sad moments, whether it's an extensive period of time or whether it's a couple of hours, whether it's a day. Some people go through it for a month, 2 months, a year. I don't know. We can't ever, everyone is different. We all walk down a different path, but we all still deal with similar things. Okay. Even if it's not at the same degree. So with depression, that's another thing that, or sadness, however you would like to call it, that we can, self-talk is huge, and we can talk ourselves out of certain situations. Does that mean it's going to happen like that in a second? No, it doesn't necessarily mean that. And I don't want for any reason for anyone to think that like I'm just here saying like, oh, I have the magic fucking formula and it's just going to work instantly for you. That is not the case at all. Things take time. It took time for you to get to where you were at, and it's going to take time for you to get out of it too.
Yeah.
But with conscious effort, you can do it. And one of the things that helps is the way you talk to yourself. If you're constantly telling yourself like, I'm sad, I'm sad. If you're telling everyone around you, I'm sad, I'm sad, I'm sad. If you get on social media, I'm sad, I'm sad, I'm sad, I'm sad, I'm sad. Guess what? You are going to be motherfucking sad.
Once
And you are
again,
going to
that's
stay sad.
I mean, listen, like, you know how I feel about that one. I'm gonna be honest once again. Like, I feel as though people that always run into social media with their problems, they're not looking for help, they're looking for attention. Like, I understand some people use social media as a means to cry out. But if you're constantly putting these things up there saying that you're this, that, and the third,
Mm-hmm.
and then when people reach out to you to try to offer you help and you turn down that help, then do you really want help, or do you want attention? I had a follower like that, that I used to see constantly always saying something negative, talking about how they wanted to kill themselves and all this other stuff. So a lot of us, we was constantly day in and day out, always reaching out towards this person, giving them, a space to, vent out their frustrations and offer them help. But every time we done that, they never responded to anybody. So what's the purpose of keep doing this if you really don't want the help? See, we got to decide whether or not we really want healing or do we want attention when it comes to a lot of the situations that we find ourselves faced in. Because a lot of it is just a choice. And
It's all
you
a
can only
choice.
and you will only things will happen to you only if you allow them. And if you make that choice to allow these things to continue on, then you're going to continue to have that problem until you choose otherwise.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, you have to make that choice. It's true. And you have to continue to make the choice.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like I said, there will be times where you think something bad or negative or sad, but you have to realize, okay, I said this, that's okay, whatever, cancel that. And then you replace it with something positive. You know what I mean? And you have to keep doing that. Like, you have to keep doing that. And there's going to be times maybe that you're not able, you don't have the strength to do that. And that's okay.
Yeah. I know. Trust me, because
We
like
all have days like that.
I had my moments too where
Yeah.
I'm fighting a constant battle with myself, talking myself off of the ledge. Like
Right.
it happens, you know.
It
Like we're human at the
does.
end of the day, but you just got to learn how to control it. See, one of my favorite quotes that I just recently stumbled across in reading the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki, he mentions the fact that we have to learn to use our emotions to think instead of allowing our emotions to think for us. And a lot
Hmm.
of that also, boils down to being able to recognize when you're dealing with a situation that find yourself producing a lot of negative energy, and then you got to start talking to yourself, like you said, reversing that same energy and start
Hmm.
putting out more positive aspirations. Start talking yourself away from that negativity and start talking yourself towards positivity.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. You have to do it. It's something that you have to be conscious of and you have to be aware of.
Hmm.
And you have to check yourself.
Yeah.
And you have to be patient with yourself and be understanding and compassionate with yourself because it's okay to fuck up.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's okay.
a, a lot of problems people have with that too is some of us tend to be hard on ourselves
Hmm.
when we make a mistake, and understandable, because some of us, it's said that we ourselves are our own worst critics and
Right.
everything, but sometimes you got to learn you can't be so harsh on yourself when you make a mistake. Acknowledge the
Right.
mistake, own it, accept it, and then move on. you know
Exactly. And love yourself through it. It's okay. It's okay to mess up. And that's a learning moment. You can take that as a learning moment to say, okay, I said that or I thought that, but
hmm
boom, cancel that. I do not consent. This is what you replace it with. Boom. Replace it with something positive. Replace it with a positive affirmation about yourself or
hmm
whatever the situation is you're dealing with. There's so many variables in that situation. Let's say it's a depression situation or a sadness situation, and you're constantly thinking down on yourself, like, "Oh,
hmm
I'm terrible, or nobody loves me. I just always fuck up." Like you have to, you know what? I don't always fuck up. It's okay. I make mistakes sometimes, but I get better. I learn from my mistakes. If you say things like that, I learn from my mistakes.
hmm
You will notice that you will start to actually really learn from your mistakes. Your words are so powerful. Like that's really the end all, the beginning and end of it all is that your words are extremely powerful.
yeah.
Whether they're in thought or whether they're in speech, they are a vibration that you are sending out into the universe. It is like you literally just placed an order.
hmm
You literally placed an order with the universe and you said, I am stupid, which I am not. I am very intelligent.
Right.
But when you place that order with the universe says, oh, okay. Or when you tell everybody, I am sad, I'm sad, I'm sad, I'm sad, I'm sad, oh my God, you say that all the time.
hmm
Of course you are. You are literally saying the words I am. And what I tell you guys, the words I am are the most powerful words because whatever you say after that is true. You have solidified it, you have claimed it, you have identified with it. It is you. You just said it, right?
hmm
So if you're saying that, then you're going to stay that. But I choose to be happy. I choose to be healthy. I choose to be intelligent. So I choose to say positive things about myself.
hmm
Now, I have not always been this way either. We've all gone through that type of shit in our lives. Like, or if you don't, if you've never had, then man, salute. Uh,
Nah,
you're
I
you're
will find out
not
how to
you, but I'm
believe
saying
at
if
this
there's a
point.
person out
Yeah,
there,
yeah,
man, if you have never doubted yourself, if you have never said anything bad about self or thought anything negative about yourself, yo, props, man. But for the rest of us out here in the universe,
Mhm.
it's okay. You can change it at any moment. Right now, you get to decide to be a better person than you were just a moment ago. Like that's the thing is like right
Yeah.
now, right in this moment, you get to decide
You
to
have to make the
choose.
choice, and then you have to stick with it.
Yeah, and just keep choosing every time.
hmm That's how it basically boils down to it. Like, if you make that decision that you want to change and change to a more positive manner, then you have to eliminate a lot of that stuff and negative influences that are around you, because
Hmm.
even though you may not be a negative person, sometimes somebody else's energy can shape your mood or shape your own energy.
If you
Which is
allow it
something
to,
that,
yes,
yeah,
definitely.
which is something I've been learning, throughout the course of last year, and started eliminating a lot of negative people that was around me, because at the end of the day, it's not conducive to what I'm trying to accomplish in my life. I don't want to always be shrouded by negativity. I don't always want to give off that negative persona about me
Right,
through my
exactly.
energy. Like at the end of the day, like when you keep projecting all this negativity, you're gonna get back what you put out there. Like you said, you place in the order. So if you
Yeah.
keep projecting all this negativity, then eventually you're gonna get back exactly what you project. And that's
Yes.
something I'm starting to become conscious of myself, because I realize that the more negative I project, the more negative things come back to me. And when I start
100%.
feeling, yeah, and when I start feeling, positive, and when I'm doing positive things for people, I notice there's a big change in my mood and my energy. So
And
it's all
in the
about just
things that
making that
probably
decision.
happen in your life.
Yeah. You know?
Absolutely. It changes how you look too.
Yeah.
It
That's
literally
true.
changes it changes you physically. That's what people don't understand, is it physically changes you. You will start to look better. Your skin will glow. Happiness and true self-love changes you. It changes you on a cellular level. When you start to talk positive about yourself, you are literally making positive changes within yourself. When you say, I am perfect health, I am love, I am happiness, I am joy, I am at peace, I bring light, you really do start doing these things just naturally. You start exuding these energies because they are you. They start to become you and make you up of who you are. And you can replace the I'm sads with I am happy. Even if you feel fucking sad, it's okay that you don't feel happy at the moment. You can literally say, I'm not sad. I am happy. I choose to be happy. Say the words you choose to be happy, even if you don't fucking feel happy at the moment. Say you're
Hmm.
happy, because you will start to change. And if you can force a smile on your face, do that too. That's even more powerful. If you can smile when you say things, there is so much energy and so much like power in that positive fucking flow of energy. I just want to hit some of these comments real quick. Crystal has
Sure.
been leaving some great comments. I love this one. Eat more walnuts. It helps your mind. Yeah, facts. That's why it looks like a brain, because it's good for your brain.
Hmm.
True
It's
enough. Isn't
also
that
good for your
amazing?
heart too.
And for your heart. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nutrition and mental health environment plays a huge role. And we're going to talk some
Mhm.
more about that next week, nutrition and stuff like that. I have somebody coming through, I think next week for sure, talking about nutrition, because that
Yeah.
is a huge part of healing and self love. But yeah, thank you, Crystal. That's major. Definitely your environment plays a big role too.
Yeah,
And that's
definitely.
part of the boundaries thing that I was talking about last week, and setting boundaries and not allowing certain people or certain situations into your life
Yeah.
that have been obviously creating negative impact on you. That's part of loving yourself, is setting those boundaries. And it's going to play a major role in self talk too.
Yeah.
Because if you're around people whom you're not on a high vibration with those people, yeah, they probably talk bad about themselves and you, and
Yeah.
you see what I'm saying?
Definitely.
So of course you're gonna continue, like,
Those type of people, I call them energy vampires, because
man,
those are the type of people that just drain you. No matter what
that
kind of mood you're in, this person comes around and they'll drain every little ounce of positive energy from you with their energy. And
mm-hmm.
that's real. That's why it's important to be careful with the people you surround yourself with, especially if you are trying to lead a more positive lifestyle. Because if you're around negative influences, it's going to be hard to be positive.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I encourage people now to like get away from a lot of the negative influences that cause you to remain in a negative space.
Yes, you have to. You have
Definitely.
to, for your own personal peace. You have to. And some people sometimes can't understand that, and it's okay. They don't have to understand that.
Hmm.
That's the beauty of self love. It's only about yourself. So nobody else has to understand it.
That's true.
You know, I mean, if you choose to explain to that person why you don't want to fuck with them anymore, that's on you. But when you do that, know that um, you do risk the chance of them coming back with a rebuttal or something else, and then you can find yourself in a loop of going back and forth with this person,
Sometimes,
which
like
can be difficult and challenging.
some people, it's okay to give them a reason, but sometimes some people it's just good to just cut
Yeah,
them off and just leave them right where they are.
you sometimes have to.
You know, some situations don't require an explanation.
That's
If
true
they
too.
can't if they can't get it, or if they can't put two and two together to figure out why this person is not fucking with them like that anymore, then that's that person's own, being naive to the situation.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Let's see. Linda's asking, but if you work with a person every day that draws energy from you, you can't just get away from them.
Yes, you can. I don't believe that bullshit. Yes, you can. Even if you right there still working with people, like I used to be in a situation where I work with people I did not like all the time. I could
Mm-hmm.
sit here for 8 hours and ignore you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to pay you no mind. The moment you start, to acknowledge that bad energy, then that's when it's gonna, affect you. You don't have to pay that energy any mind. You don't have to pay that coworker any mind.
Yeah. You do choose your level of interaction with people.
Yeah.
And also, too, there's just ways of blocking people's energy. Like you can literally set the intention of saying, I do not consent to negative energy around me. Like, you guys, you literally have the power in your world. This is your world that you live in, and you can create these these blockages against people. You
Yeah.
don't have to allow people's energy to affect you. And if you are, you have to look at yourself and say, okay, why am I allowing their energy to affect me? We've all
Yeah.
gone through this. It's not just you, Linda, by the way. We all have had situations that we've dealt with where we're like, okay, this person is stressing me out. But what we have to realize is we're allowing that person to stress us out.
Yeah. Pretty much.
So don't allow people to do that. And if you are seeing that maybe you're like, they keep coming at you trying to talk to you, you can literally ignore them, or you can say, I'm choosing not to speak to you. Like,
Yeah, like
literally,
you don't have to entertain
you don't
somebody's
have to entertain
energy just
anybody.
because
You
you're
don't.
working with them.
Put some headphones in. If you work in a situation, you can put some headphones in, put some fucking headphones.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, never sit there and feel like you have to feel trapped to
You don't
somebody
have
else's
to talk to
energy.
nobody, man.
Exactly. Like, no, you don't have to feel like you're trapped in a situation just because of an obligation, such as working with that individual. Like I said, there's been plenty of people I didn't like working with, and I know they didn't like me
Mm-hmm.
as well. So I
Yeah,
just didn't entertain them.
right.
If I had to
And
deal
it's not
with you,
always easy because if you have to talk, if you have no choice, you have to talk to them.
yeah, now if
Keep
I
it
got,
brief,
yeah,
keep it about what we have to have it about, and then part ways.
that's it. Like, if it's just, you just keep it work related and keep it pushing after that.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yep.
just sit there. I don't have to have a conversation with you. I don't have to say hello every morning.
No, you
I
don't
don't have
need
to
to
say
sit
goodnight
by
every
me
night.
during breaks and shit.
Yeah, like we don't have to be buddy or nothing like that.
No, we don't have to be friends. Cause me personally, I don't have a job to be friends with people there. I'm there to provide an income and
Pretty much.
pay the light bills.
I'm getting paid for my time when I go to work, basically.
Right. And unless that person's paying you extra for your time, you
Exactly.
you don't have to entertain them.
But that's the problem, though. A lot of people allow certain individuals to live rent free in their mind. Like, sometimes, like, certain interactions with an individual can stick with a person for a long time, depending just how much control and power they allow this person to have over them. And
Yeah.
that's where people gotta realize you gotta learn to take your own power back from people.
Yeah.
Somebody that's constantly, like, if you could be chilling with family, having a good time, and all of a sudden you have a thought or something that reminds you of this particular individual. You gotta that's you giving this person too much power over you.
And you
So
should
therefore you
say
gotta
the
break
words, I
that.
do not consent. You can
Yeah,
say that. I do not consent. I do not consent to this person's energy in my life anymore. And another thing too on that note about energy is drawing your energy back to you and giving back other people's energy that they've attached onto you that you don't own and you don't
Yeah.
want is a big thing. And it's literally your own words.
Yeah.
You say this, you say things like, I call back my energy to me from anyone who has taken it without my permission.
Mm-hmm.
I call my energy back to me now. And you can say this 10 times a day if you want to. You could say this once a week. You can do it as often as you want. You can call your energy back, and you should do that because there are people like Emilio was just talking about that are energy vampires, they're energy suckers, and they
Mm-hmm.
adhere to your energy and they suck it. They can do this from distance.
Yeah.
Like they can literally just they live off of this type
Just a
of shit.
conversation with
It keeps them
somebody
going.
that just drains people energy
Yeah.
because they need that energy. They're so miserable in life. They need to drain you of your energy to feel alive.
Yes. Oh
So
my
at the end
God.
of the day, you can
Yes.
just cut. Like people fail to realize, like spiritual transfers and things like energy transfers, those kind of attachments, that stuff is real.
It is.
And if you allow it, somebody's energy can attach itself to you, and
Yes.
it can remain with you until you detach that
Detached
energy
from
from
it.
them somehow.
And that was my next thing I was going to tell you. I personally smudge my home and stuff like that
Yeah, me too.
myself. But if you're not a smudger, even if you are a smudger, you can still use these words and say, use your words. You guys don't have to use my exact words. You can use your own words that feel comfortable and that come to you. Whatever your heart says, just
Mhm.
use those words. But detach yourself from other people's energy. I am giving back and returning releasing any energy that has been attached to me or has been left behind that is not mine, that is not positive for my life, I cannot use, that is not useful to me. I
Mhm.
return and release all that energy. And whatever cannot be returned to its owner, I send back into the earth to be transmuted into light and love. That's what I
Mhm.
say. Y'all don't have to do all that. But
I like that. I
but
like
like
that.
return and release the energy back to its owner. Use your words however you want, but return and release the energy back to its owner is the main focus. And say that whenever you will feel a weight lifted from you. One thing I do want to make note of is that when you do ask for your energy to be returned back to you that people have been taking without your permission,
Mhm.
you may notice all of a sudden somebody comes back into your life that you haven't talked to in a while. They might pop up randomly. Um, that energy being pulled from them was felt. They thought
Yeah.
about you.
Yeah.
They thought about you. The energy being pulled from them was felt.
Yeah.
And also make note of the people who do that. And also make note of if you do interact with that person again, how do you feel afterwards? Like Emilio had said, if you feel drained, feeling drained by somebody is a very
Mm.
great way to know if that person is
It's a good
a
purpose.
positive
Yeah.
energy or a
If that person has purpose in your life or not.
yeah.
And that's something, like I said, 2021, that's something I really learned, that, when you start detaching yourself from negative influences and sources of negative energy and just a bunch of darkness, like, I still
Mm-hmm.
believe, even though I'm not as religious, I'm not, too much into the Bible and everything like that, but I do believe in the passage when it says the power of life and death is in your tongue. So you can speak a
Mm.
bad situation, you can speak death into a situation, and it
Yes.
doesn't necessarily mean like, passing away in the physical. You can speak death into a situation by just talking bad about it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like if you want, like, say, if you're trying to get a business to grow, if you keep always thinking that you're, failing this, that, and the third,
Mm-hmm.
you're speaking death into that situation. So therefore,
Yes.
yes, you are going to fail. You're not
Yes.
going to be as successful as you would like. So therefore, when you start speaking life into it, like this business is going to be a six-figure business, X, Y, and Z. You speaking life into it now. So eventually that life is going to grow, and it's going to continue to grow as long as you nourish it the correct way. And
Yes.
nourishing things correct way does involve your energy.
It does.
Like
And
somebody
setting good
that cooks,
intentions.
like somebody that cooks, you can tell people that, really enjoy what they do when you
Mm-hmm.
taste their food. because you
Right.
could taste all that love and passion that's coming out in the food. Whereas somebody that don't give a fuck, you gonna taste
Hmm.
it. You gonna taste the difference.
Right.
You know, if that kind of makes sense to the point I'm making right now.
Yeah, it does. What you put into it is what you're going to get out of it.
Yeah, you know.
If you're and that goes, that kind of made me think of something too, like dealing with people at work. Like, you can set the intention that the relationship between you and that person is cordial and positive, and you'd be surprised at the change that you'll see if every day when you go in you set the intention, like, all my interactions today will be positive and productive and peaceful, and they will start with love. Like, say that before you go into work every day, and
That
watch the interactions, how they change, though.
yeah.
Like,
Don't wake up in the morning talking about, oh, I'm gonna go to work, I'm gonna punch my boss in the face today, I'm gonna
ah,
cuss.
God, I got to deal with so and so. If you, like what you were just saying, if you are constantly, oh, I got to deal with so and so, I hate that person, they're irritating, they're always this, they're always
Yeah,
that, they do this, they do that. Oh my God, guess what? They will forever be irritating. They will forever be this, they
yeah,
will forever be that, they will forever do those things that bother you, because you're continuing to feed that. Whatever you feed will grow.
yeah. You know, the quote, a good friend of mine, he was a supervisor for me, you know, just recently or whatever. And he used to tell me, because I used to have these problems a lot with a lot of, you know, the people that I was working with. And I used to speak with him, you know, constantly in regards to what's going on with my situation dealing with a lot of my coworkers. And he used to say to me all the time, and then eventually stuck with me, you can't change the way people are. You can only change the way you respond to it.
Exactly.
You know, so like that's what I was saying to you, Linda, earlier when I was like, you don't have to subject to that if you don't
Right.
want to. You only allow what you allow. Things will
Hmm.
only things that happen to you is what you allow. So if you allow your coworkers to get on your nerves and to piss you off and just to make you feel constantly uncomfortable and uneasy within your work environment,
Hmm.
then you're making that choice to do so, and it's going to continue to affect you. Whereas if you just decide, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna go to work, I'm gonna do my 8 hours, that's it, then I'm going. I don't care, whatever. I ain't gotta take none of this shit home with me. Once you
Hmm.
make that choice, then your 9 to 5 experience will be a lot different. Trust me, because that's
Yeah.
speaking from experience.
Yeah. Seriously.
Mhm.
It's something that, you have to, again, though, it's a conscious effort and a conscious decision you have to consciously make over and over again every time.
Mhm.
And you may not see it, you may not see the product, the fruits of your labor instantly. Please remember, it takes a little bit of time. You see what I'm saying? And also, your intentions need to be true. You need to really, honestly, sincerely believe the words that you're saying. You can't just say the words. But start with saying the words, though. If you don't believe them, it's okay. Yeah, just really start with saying the words. But start to try to put some feeling behind those words, because when you put
Mhm.
some feeling behind those words, you're adding that emphasis. You're adding the belief, and belief is fucking powerful, man.
Yeah. Belief is a lot more powerful than what even I thought at first originally. You know, once you start believing in yourself and you believe in what you're doing and the intentions you set forth, you will
Hmm.
see a lot of changes in your life that you wouldn't even have fathomed before.
Yeah,
It all just starts with the way you think about things.
it
And that's
does.
why, you know, like 2022, I've been making a conscious effort to change the way I think. And that also involves healing as well, because changing the way I think, that's pushing me towards healing, because now I'm not dealing on all, you know, dwelling on all the bad things and experiences that happened in my life. I'm trying to let go of that stuff, move on from the past stuff, and start, you know, laying seeds for a more positive future. You know, you got to make that
Hmm.
decision to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Ladies, Six not with us tonight. Sorry, I apologize. I didn't address that in the beginning of the show. Six not with us tonight, guys. It was just going to be me, but Emilio's get special guesting with me this evening,
Mhm.
so it's the two of us, just the two of us.
And I apologize if I
So
sound crazy, like I am just getting over being sick. So, you know,
you don't sound crazy.
I'm sitting here, it's like, yo, like the whole time I'm talking, I'm like, I can just feel my nose draining, and it's like, yo.
I'm not sick, and I know I keep sniffling, but I'm in the basement, and the basement is cold, and I'm one of those people, like, I don't know if you guys are like this, but if I get really hot, my nose gets sniffly, and if I get really cold, my nose gets sniffly. Like the two extreme changes
You might have to get
for
you a
me.
dehumidifier for that.
I get like sniffly. So like when I come inside from outside, like I get sniffly. When I go outside from inside, I get sniffly. Um, so I apologize. But yeah, no, you sound fine. But you made me want to say and reiterate something real quick, because that made me think of some posts that I've been seeing on social media, and it's it's really kind of like it's a really powerful energy that people are putting out here by constantly complaining. I don't want to say complaining. I shouldn't say complaining. I'm sorry. I take that back. But constantly posting about being sick or their symptoms or how they're feeling. Like, when you guys continue to do that, you're spreading that around. Just like you can spread love, and you can spread fear, hate, and you can spread hate, and you can spread sickness. And our minds are so powerful that whatever we think is reality. That's how powerful our minds are.
Oh yeah.
So if you think that if you sit and tell yourself all the time, we just said this. I feel like I'm literally repeating myself, but people spreading this it spreads the sickness too. Like, so people constantly reading it, like, oh, I'm sick. You're reading it. You're reading the words, I am sick. Does that make sense? In your brain, you're saying those same words to yourself over and over and over. And I feel like, you guys, stop it. Get some help.
Yeah, but sometimes though, like I get what you're saying, but sometimes your body is what it is. You know?
I know, but you don't have to, like, people don't have to tell everybody about it though.
No, I mean, like, I wasn't telling nobody at all. Like I said, only reason
no, not you. I'm not you. I'm sorry. It just made me think of something I had seen on social media.
Now because I've been seeing it.
I've been seeing it over and over and over again. So many people posting, like, everybody wants to post about how they're not feeling well. It's like part of it is kind of like, I feel like they're trying to, like, I don't know, be a part of something.
That goes back to what I was saying.
They want to be a part of this whole fucking pandemic bullshit. They want to be a part of it so bad that they want to, like,
feel included.
I hate that shit. Stop it. FOMO is a real thing. Fear of missing out. You're not missing out by being healthy. I am healthy. I choose to be. I am fucking in perfect health.
But see, that once again, that goes back to what I was saying to you earlier about the whole situation about people posting things not because they want to help, but they just post because they want attention. Like, come on, like, yes, unless it's something like terminal, I'm not gonna go online and fucking tell the whole world I got the sniffles.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the people that have something real going on, because that's
a lot of
good
people out there, with this current bullshit that's going on, they made it cool to virtue signal.
That's the word I was looking for, a virtue signal.
They want to make everybody aware that they doing what they perceive to be the right thing.
Exactly. Oh, I went and got tested. Stop. Why are you getting tested? Did you ever get tested before when you had the flu or a cold? Did you ever get tested before? Before it had an actual specific name like George, did you ever get tested before when it was just called a cold or a flu?
You just go to the doctor. They tell you whatever it is you got, and then they give you whatever treatment you're supposed to receive.
This bullshit. You're perpetuating it. Stop.
Give me 1 second. Hold on.
But so as I was saying, talking about those types of things, it's like you're putting that negative out into the world. Do you see what I'm saying? Stop doing that. Stop putting the negative out there, you guys. Send healing vibes to yourself. Talk healing upon yourself. Speak life onto yourself. Speaking life onto yourself is a huge thing. Like, if you do not feel well, first and foremost, take care of yourself. Up your vitamins, steam your face, drink some water, drink some hot tea, and start speaking life and health onto yourself. I am healthy. I feel amazing. My body fights anything that gets into it. I am a self healer. Like my body heals itself. These are say I am healed. Duh. I'm healed.
Mhm.
Don't even say that you're healing. You are healed.
Mhm.
I am in perfect health.
I think
Repeat
some
that to
people
yourself.
just
My sleep heals me. When I sleep, I am healed.
I think some people just use words because they like the sound of it, but they don't really understand the meaning or the purpose in those words when you speak them.
Those words are extremely powerful, you
Like
guys.
some people do, but not everybody realize the power that words possess. And I think once people start to understand just how powerful your words are, just how powerful your words are at determining whether or not your healing goes as it's supposed to go compared
Yeah.
to it going off schedule. It all starts with the way you put these things into words when you're putting it out there. That's what I was saying earlier when like I'm starting to be more conscious of the things I put out there when I speak, even when I'm getting angry with myself. Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes it's good to get it out there, but I gotta learn like if I'm gonna just vent it out, I gotta learn to say that venting this out so it's not sitting here in my body and just causing more and more of a deterioration because I'm allowing all of this negativity to manifest within. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
You
the
can
reason why
write it down and burn it.
I should probably start doing that, but it's like sometimes for me, like writing it doesn't really get that full, release like it does like when I'm just projecting
Yeah.
them words out there. But still, even when you're projecting just to release something, you still have to be careful because them words got to go out and they will do whatever your intentions were.
Yeah. So even if you do say angry things and you say things that you don't mean or that you wanted to get out, you can say that you cancel that. You can cancel that shit.
Mhm.
Cancel it. But yeah, I understand what you mean. Sometimes you need to release the energy. You just need to like
Yeah.
like just get it out like for real. I mean it's very
Like I'm learning to
that
do
is
that as an analysis of my feelings when I'm upset like that. Like I'll
mm,
speak to I have a conversation with myself and I'm
mhm.
breaking down the reason why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling at that moment. And I'm starting to realize it has helped. Maybe if I start writing it down a little bit
Yeah.
more and doing it as I'm, speaking these things out, writing it down and really starting to understand why I feel the way I do, then there should be then I'll probably see a different result. But it's like at the end of the day, it's just like, you just gotta be mindful of the things you say, especially when you're angry.
Yeah. Yeah. Anger and sadness are two emotions that can cause us to react in a way that we probably normally wouldn't, you know,
Mhm.
say things, do things that we probably normally wouldn't do. And yeah, you have to be careful with those. They're
Mhm.
dangerous.
That is a
Even
fact.
happiness, though, like they say you shouldn't ever make like big decisions or things that you want, big plans when you're super happy.
Well, you shouldn't make no decisions at the height of any emotional
Right.
experience because you're not thinking rationally at that moment. You're thinking like what I said earlier. You're allowing your emotions to think for you. So
Right.
any decision that's based off of an emotional feeling at that time, chances are it's not the right decision and it's not going to always end well for you because you're making the decision based off of emotions. That's why I try to always put myself in a position where I'm not making any decisions when I'm upset or when I'm extremely happy about something.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good.
Mhm.
Those things can be it can be tricky. But so um it's good to see you too, Crystal. Thanks for being here tonight. I appreciate everybody that's been tuned in. Thank you guys so much for coming through tonight and tuning in with us and all of the great comments and stuff like that. Shout out to you, Kim. Thanks for coming through. It's good to see you. I really appreciate all the support that you always give. You know Kim Waterman, right?
Yeah,
Emilio, does
I know who she
yeah.
is. Yeah,
Yeah. Good lady, man. She's a major supporter.
that's what's up.
So appreciate you guys for coming through tonight.
You muted yourself.
You gotta be good to yourself, and you have to be patient with yourself.
You muted again.
I'm muted.
Now you're not. You're good now.
Oh, maybe. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Uh, that's one of the big things about self-love is self-talk. So that was something that I really wanted to kind of just touch on or showcase on tonight, because I want to talk a lot about self-love. I think that self-love is a great basis for beginning to heal ourselves from anything, and all the things that we're seeing in the world around us right now. I can't say that things are just going to magically all of a sudden get better in the world and things are going to go back to what people would deem quote unquote normal. I don't think that you will ever see the world back again to what we would have considered to be normal. So knowing that it's not something to fear, it's just something to be aware of and something to realize that we're in an ever changing world, and we have to be ready to move and groove with it, and being true to ourselves and taking care of ourselves is going to give us the best foot forward, in that sense. So yeah, every day, you guys wake up in the morning and put a smile on your face and start saying nice things about yourself. Think about the things that you're grateful for. Say the things that you're grateful for and start to love on yourself. You know what I mean? Say positive things about yourself. If you're having difficulty with self-image and self-esteem and how you feel about yourself, if you think you're a piece of shit and you hate yourself, then that's where you need to start, because you're not a piece of shit, and you need to know that you're not a piece of shit. You need to know that you are enough and that you are amazing. Like, you have positive things to input into the world, and you're important. Every last one of us is important. And when you start to tell yourself that and you start to really believe that, you'll see yourself differently, and you'll start to see the people around you differently. That's the one thing about loving yourself, is you start to see the world around you differently too. You start to have a little more compassion for other people when you start to be compassionate for yourself, because then you say, oh shit, you know what, like, damn, I was just having a bad day that day. It's not a bad life, it was a bad fucking moment.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying? We have bad moments.
See, that's what people gotta understand too. Like, bad moments happen and they're not permanent. The only
Right.
way most bad situations become permanent is if you turn it into a permanent situation.
You allow yourself to stay in that situation.
Yeah.
You have to talk yourself out of these situations. Like we were talking about earlier with depression, you have to start just smiling. Put a smile on your face. Start thinking about things you're grateful for. Talk to yourself. Tell yourself, you know what? Why are you sad? Maybe you can figure it out. Maybe you can ask yourself, why am I sad? Why am I feeling sad right now? Maybe you need a fucking hug. Hug yourself. Maybe you need a hug. It's okay to hug yourself. It's okay. Evershina, let me see. You wrote something. I like this right here. Oops, that's not what the one I wanted. She said they're so conditioned they think that thing is the only thing that ever existed. Yeah, they literally call it the virus, which is really funny to me, as if it's the only virus. Honey, we have billions of we can't even, I bet there's not even a number to describe how many viruses there are in this world. And bacterias and germs. It's a cold and flu season. Yeah, low vitamin D levels are major. Everybody should be taking vitamin D. Everybody is low on vitamin D. I can almost guarantee it, unless you sit in the sun for a couple hours a day, every single day, you are for sure probably low on vitamin D. The darker you are, the more concentrated of melanin you have in your skin, the probably the lower you are on vitamin D, because the more concentration of melanin in your skin, the darker your skin tone is, the more difficult it is for you to absorb vitamin D from the sun. So you actually have to be in the sun. You need more sun. So, yeah, imagine the darker your skin is, the more vitamin D you're probably deficient in. You can go get checked to get your blood checked to see how low you are on those types of things. But if you don't want to do that, you want to at least just do something for yourself.
Shit,
This is not medical
honestly,
advice, but get you some vitamin D tablets, capsules, and start taking vitamin D. I suggest everyone takes at least 5,000 IU's a day.
mm,
She said, "Why would you cancel it?" You have to explain that comment to me a little bit more. Why would you cancel it as opposed to addressing the trigger, then replaying it with a better respond? That would be why you would cancel it. I guess you would cancel the negative that you said, and then replace it with something positive,
mm.
which would be, a better response would be a great positive replacement, depending on what the situation was. Yeah. Absolutely. You should always do that. Even if you say something negative, like for example, I have great road rage. It's really fun. And and I talk a lot of shit about the people on the road. And then I feel bad about it later. Like, okay, you know what? Cancel that. I try to, even in the moment, even if I'm irritated still, I try to cancel it and then be like, you know what? Maybe that person is maybe they're not focused today. Maybe they're having a bad day. Maybe they're, you know what I mean? Maybe they're not, maybe they're distracted. Like I try to make excuses for that person and have compassion for that person instead of just blaming that person.
Mm-hmm.
And also self can sometimes slow the fuck down. But yeah, absolutely. A great way is to cancel what you said. You want to cancel what you said because you've sent that vibration into the world. So you want to cancel that vibration because you don't want that vibration to be sent out, and then replace it with, how you would have rather responded, or something positive about self that you would have rather have said, or that you would rather think about yourself. Even if you don't feel that way about yourself at the moment, you will train yourself to think and feel differently just by making these conscious changes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, Emilio, you were going to say something. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No. You good. You good. No. I was just saying I didn't have anything to say.
Oh.
You good.
Okay. But yeah, making those conscious decisions to change it will eventually make a natural change that you won't even think about it. So then you'll just start canceling things when you say them that you don't mean, because we're still not perfect, like ever. Well, actually, you know what? Let me rephrase that, because our idea of perfection is skewed. That's the problem, because we actually are fucking perfect. You are perfect. You're perfect, whole, and complete, just how you are right now. All you can do is continue to grow and become a better version of this person that you are. Like, you can only enhance what you already are. Do you see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But we are perfect. We are perfection. That's the thing, is that each of us is perfect in our own way. Like, we are different, but that doesn't mean that we're imperfect. We are not imperfect. We are absolutely 100% perfect. That's something that we're not, like, we're conditioned to think that we're not shit or something. Like, we're so conditioned to hate ourselves and to hate one another. Like, it's really sad. And a lot of us aren't taught to love ourselves.
A lot of it comes with the programming we see on television.
That's huge. Turn your fucking TV off. Kill your TV. That's huge. That's huge.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of that when you see in these beauty pageants and a lot of these things that has something to do with glamorizing a particular look or whatever the case may be, that's where a lot of people get it from. Feeling like they're not good enough. When you see people in these beauty pageants and people out here that's doing things that they wish they could be able to do, but they're made to feel bad about their, non-abilities more so than their actual abilities.
Right. That's absolutely true, man. That beauty pageant thing is so real. And a lot of that starts with young ladies at a very young age, like childhood, when their parents start forcing them in a tutu and having them memorize lines to.
Can only imagine the psychological damage that has on a lot of these child, stars, as far as like acting and just being put in front of
Yeah.
that kind of audience. Like a lot of these child stars and child actors and stuff like that, you start hearing some of their stories, like they've had some very terrible experiences dealing with that stuff. So just the psychological damage that they deal with so young in their in their lives and in their careers and everything. So how
Yeah.
do they heal from that?
Yeah. And then staying in that environment is difficult too. They're constantly around their abusers because they go through a lot of abuse
Yeah, definitely.
from childhood actors and
I actually sit back and I think about it. It's like some things like
entertainers.
you wanted in life. It's like sometimes like you wanted it so bad, but then you, as you get older, you start to realize like maybe it wasn't that much of a loss anyway. Maybe the reason why you want a different path than what you would have been if you would have made this decision is because it just wasn't meant for you, and maybe it's for the better. So sometimes when I look at a situation that I didn't really get the desired outcome, or I didn't get what I wanted in that particular situation, sometimes I try to look at it as, what, maybe it's for the best.
It's always for the best.
Yeah,
That's one thing that I've learned in my research over the years, over my years of life, is that the universe works for us at all times, even when it doesn't seem like a good situation. It always has a reason and a purpose and a positive outcome. And it's always for our best interest. And those things that we wanted to do, I always wanted to be a Hollywood actress. But you want to know what? The more that I learn about Hollywood, I'm super grateful that's not part of my story
shit,
because
me too.
I don't want that to be part of my story. It's ugly. And you know what? I don't want any part of that. The reason I was brought here is so much more beautiful than that. And my purpose is healing people. My purpose is spreading love. My purpose is waking people up. I'm an alarm clock.
Mhm.
I'm a divine alarm clock. So I'm grateful for that. I have a way better path. And although I'm still very much an actress, I was born an actress. So if y'all want me to play a role in your movie and it's a local independent thing, I'm with it. Let's get it. But I keep it that way though. I like doing independent work.
Yeah,
I love
that's
working
almost
with independent directors and stuff.
it's like me with my rap career and everything like that. I'm kind of
Yeah.
actually happy that I didn't indulge too deep into that, or that wasn't my path in
Mm-hmm.
life. Don't get me wrong, I like rapping, I like, the artistry and the whole thing, as far as making music, but just the behind the scenes shit and everything else that goes on within this industry. Kind of happy that I didn't, get too deep into it to experience a lot of those same experiences that you hear a lot of these, rappers that have found success, tell stories about.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah, and a lot of these Hollywood actors, look at them right now. What are they doing? They're perpetuating this fear. They're perpetuating lies. They're perpetuating misinformation to us, to people who trust them, to people who look up to them, to people,
That's why I don't
some people
support
who
them.
actually worship and idolize these motherfuckers. And I'll tell you
Yeah.
what, I do not want to be a person that perpetuates a message like that. It's not for me.
Well, I wonder how a lot of them gonna feel when they sit there and they really think about the magnitude of the decision they made,
I
because
don't
they
think they
wanted to
give a
make that
fuck.
money. That money was more important than the message that they was sharing, or putting out there to perpetuate this narrative. People
I
can
don't,
say what they want to say. At the end of the day, they are just as much a part of this whole bullshit as those that are actually behind this whole situation.
yeah. Oh, they would be accomplice. Please believe they would be getting charged with everything the
Accessory.
motherfucker. Yes,
Yeah.
they are accessory to fucking genocide. They literally would, in the court of law, they'd be standing right there with the person who started the shit.
hmm Just
So
like the dumbass from the Ahmaud Arbery trial. They would have gotten away with it if the idiot didn't go and show the videotape.
hmm.
So it's like, at the end of the day, like, you just see a lot of this stuff happening. It's like, yo, like, people gotta realize you gotta stop following the words of these, celebrities, because they don't mean no intention, no good intention for you anyway. At least most of them.
They're
I'm not gonna say
actors.
all of them, but a lot of them that is out there that is willing to push this narrative at whatever cost. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Those are not the people I want to be taking my cue from. I'm sorry.
right. Exactly. Sheesh. So much shit going on in the world today, you guys. Man, I just send you all peace, love, and positive vibes in your journeys. You know, we all have a different path to walk, but you're here for a reason and you're important and we love you and you are seen and you are heard. And if you don't feel seen and heard, you know, maybe you need to look into self and talk to self a little bit more. We gotta stop looking outside of ourselves. Everything you need is right here inside yourself.
I agree.
It really is. Emilio, thanks for being here with me tonight, man. It was a nice surprise to have you come
No
through.
problem. Thank you for having me. I always appreciate it whenever you invite me onto your platform.
Yeah, it's great to have you here with me. And it was great to have all of you here with me tonight and Emilio with us. Appreciate you guys. Thank you to everybody who commented and shared and liked and supported and stuck with us this whole little bit here. Appreciate y'all. If you have something out in the world that you've been seeing that's not for you, we definitely want to hear about it, y'all. So send me a message. You can send me on a message on my personal social media. Otherwise, you can send a message to Monotfahme. If you want to follow Monotfahme, it's everywhere. I can put up the little thing. Everywhere is Monotfahme, Monotfahme, Monotfahme. It's everywhere. You can follow us. Well, it says Twitter, but you can follow us on all social medias at Monotfahme. Otherwise, I'm Melody Waters. I'm not hard to find. You guys can find me everywhere at I am Melody Waters. And yeah, go ahead and follow us. Emilio, where can people follow you at?
Follow me on Twitter. You know, my name is right there in the little bar at the bottom of the screen for those of you who are watching right now at the EMillio EgBar on Twitter. And you can follow us also, you know, on IG at EJP underscore entertainment. You can check us out there. You can also get at us on YouTube at EJP Entertainment. You can subscribe to our channel for those of you out there who enjoy our content. We would definitely appreciate the support for those of you out there who do subscribe and like our videos and everything. And that's it. Got some other things, but you know, we'll get into that, you know, a little bit later.
Okay, so everywhere EJP Entertainment, y'all. Definitely go follow Emilio wherever you social media at. Appreciate y'all. I don't know if you guys need that up there for a second longer. I should leave that up there, huh? EJP Entertainment. All right, y'all. You know what it is. It's Monotfahme Mondays. We're going to be back next Monday. Same bad time, same bad channel. 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are continuing with the healing series and talking about self-love. Next week, I believe as long as she can come on the show next week, in the making of bringing on somebody who actually knows all the ins and outs of keeping an alkaline body, which is 100% an alkaline body. Disease, sickness cannot live in an alkaline body. It needs acidity to live. And if you keep your body in an alkaline state, you absolutely cannot get sick. It's like impossible. So that's part of self-love, man. What we put on ourselves, in ourselves, how we talk to ourselves, what we allow in our lives, our boundaries. These are all ways that we can love ourselves. And next week, let's talk about what we put in ourselves, huh, y'all? Okay, I love you guys. Have a fabulous week. Peace, love, and positive vibes in all you do. And remember, just talk loving to yourself tomorrow, right now. But in the morning when you wake up, put a smile on your face and just start saying things that you love about yourself. Even if it's small things like you love the way you write your name. It doesn't matter what you start with, just start. Okay? I love you guys. Peace. Thanks, Emilio. Peace.
Thank you.